All right. So again, as welcome to today's orientation for our 2023 April session of SQL Server Database Administration. So the normal thing we do is when we are starting every batch, we have an orientation like this where we can present to you what this training is all about, talk to you about how you can prepare and be successful. We normally start our trainings, after 4 to 5 months, because of popular demand, we decided to start this session earlier because our last session that started in February, we had a lot of students that we could not accommodate. There is one good thing about JoinIT, we care so much about the size of the class, right? Because we reached the limit of the last class, a lot of people were still hanging. So we decided to start this one early. And we are hoping that this is just going to be one class. The last session we have over 2 classes because we want to give you all quality education, quality training. We don't just want to take you all and dump you in one class. That is why we decided to get a separate segment, which is the one starting this month, and you are part of that. If you look at here, the orientation number is about 50 of you all, and our class size at JoinIT, we always want to maintain a class size of below that number, right? So that is just to be able to give you all the attention that you need as students. So today we're going to be talking about the orientation. It is all inclusive, those that are in US, Canada, Cameroon, and everything. But you all would know that our trainees in Cameroon, if you see my screen, we are in partnership with the University of Boya, right? We are into business. We are currently offering training in the University of Boya. It is online because JoinIT is looking at changing the dynamics. We are looking at how do we impact the people back home, right? So we are working on a couple of partnerships in the pipeline where we can train our people in Cameroon. So they are also here today, but it does not mean that they are starting the training April 3rd, as discussed. Their training, the start date is going to be announced soon, and we are working strictly with the University of Boya to make that announcement. But this orientation is going to be helpful to them. So this is all inclusive of everybody, right? So I'll go to the next thing, which is, just welcome. It's our new student orientation. And this class is SQL Server Database Administration. We offer other trainings here at JoinIT. We are starting at offering trainings in database design, implementation, and development. We are also offering SQL Server Database Administration training. We're offering computer basics training. We're offering training in cloud computing, strictly Azure. We're offering training solutions architect in AWS as well, right? So you see, we have a lot of trainings that we are offering. So this orientation today, we are looking at who are the audience, right? Who is supposed to be here? The first thing is an absolute beginner, right? With no knowledge in IT. This is where you start. If you're an absolute beginner, someone you don't know anything about IT. Some people are here that they just heard about IT. They don't know anything. If you're here, know that you're in the right place, right? We are looking at individuals who are looking at starting a career in IT. You might know a lot about IT, but you have not considered to start a career in IT. So if you fit in that category, then you are in the right place. We are looking at IT professionals, looking at gaining more skills. There are some people here who work as help desks. There are some people here who have gone to school. They have finished a degree in computer science. They have finished a degree in networking, but they are still not able to make money based off of their studies because they have not concentrated on a specific role to play in the IT field. Okay, so if you are in that category, you are in the right place. Anyone looking for a career switch, if you are in nursing, you are tired of going to the nursing home, you are tired of passing medication, you are tired of working in a warehouse, you are tired of doing Uber, you just want to get something that will make you better, right? You are in the right place. Also, parents, we always like to have parents here who are looking at gaining skills to be able to orientate their kids. Just come to think of it. You are a parent, you don't know anything about IT. Your child is coming back and telling you, oh, IT, this, and that. I don't have any knowledge. So it is very important that parents also gain this knowledge, understand IT, so they'll be able to talk to their kids and orientate them as well. Okay? So if you fit here, then you are in the right place. JoinIT is here to help give you that information, provide you a methodology that you'll be able to use to excel in this IT field. Next, what are we going to be talking about today? In today's class, we're going to be talking, we have gone past the welcome, we have looked at the audience. We're going to talk about who we are, okay? We're going to talk about information technology, that is IT. We're going to look at the reasons to start a career in IT. We'll talk about data management. We'll talk about database administration, because this is specifically how we are looking at getting you all from an absolute beginner standpoint to an IT professional through database administration. We'll tell you all about our training structure, the challenges that people have, including you, in starting a career in IT. We'll look at the class schedule, we'll talk about some testimonies, and we'll go to next steps. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing now. We anticipate that this should take us the next hour, for us to be done. And if you have questions, I have my instructors here, JoinIT, we have Robert, we have Vanessa, we have Alan, we have Miss Barbara. Our video is not on, but you'll be able to see that shortly. So ask your questions in the chat or just note them so you don't forget, and we can actually go from there, right, and address some of them. So I'm going to be the one running this orientation today. Normally we'll have Barbara, we'll have Alan, we'll have other people, but they'll be coming in to talk to us, right? So you're going to hear my voice, just get used to it, okay? If you hear a calm accent coming in, just try to understand it. Make sense? All right. So let us look at who we are. It is important that you understand who JoinIT is. So JoinIT is an IT consultancy specialized in bridging the gap by helping individuals to start and develop a career in IT, and also offering advanced services to companies. We don't just teach, we also offer services, IT services, right? Companies looking at migrating to the cloud, company looking at having someone manage their databases, company looking at websites to develop their website, companies looking at training. We also offer training at the company's level, okay? We have a vision to be a leading gateway for IT solutions and skill development for organizations and professionals. That is where we want to go. We want to be a leading gateway. And how do we become that leading gateway? It's through initiatives like this. The number of students we have trained today who are working as database administrators, they are spreading all over. We have DBAs in Africa, we have DBAs in Europe, Canada, and everything. That is why we have a lot of people coming from different geographical locations. So we are actually infiltrating all these areas because we have this vision. We want to be that leading gateway, right? And this is our driving factor. Next, our mission is to train and equip IT professionals with cutting-edge skills that are needed at this point. That is our mission, right? This mission is helping us to get to our vision. Our vision is more of what we are looking at. What is that in the long run? And our mission are the things that we're going to do to get to that vision. And we have already started at this point. We have trained and equipped a lot of individuals who are database administrators today, who are Azure DBAs, who are solutions architects. We have trained a lot of people who now understand the basics in computing. Okay? So now, how do we accomplish all of this? What is our motto? Let me put it that way. Or what are our values? So we go with the values RIPE, which is ripe. So JoinIT is ripe. You can define ripe now in your own way. But look at this. R stands for reliability. We are reliable. When you look at some of these training institutions, someone just gets a training, get up today and say, oh, I'm going to start a school, collect money from students. Then after 3 months, they're like, you are done with your training. How reliable is that? JoinIT is a well-structured organization. We have proven over time that we are reliable. All our students that go through JoinIT understands the meaning of this, right? We don't tell you that classes are starting today, classes will not start. We don't tell you that we're going to assist you throughout your stay at JoinIT, and we don't. We don't tell you that when you get a job, you have on-the-job support from JoinIT, and we don't. So we are reliable in everything that we do. Innovation. We are trailblazers committed to bringing excellence and creativity to the solutions we provide to our clients. So look at you as a student today. You are like a client at JoinIT. We bring in creative ways of making you understand IT. We have simplified the teaching and on the process for you to understand what IT is all about. And this can be seen in our success story. You see us announcing new DBAs all the time. That is because we bring in this innovation, right? We start today, we teach you this, we look at what is happening in the IT field, and we are able to switch. We are able to switch so that can get the success that we need. Professionalism. We always put our job first. That is why you see I am very passionate when I talk about IT. I am very passionate when I sit in class and I am teaching. I'm very passionate and I want to be professional as best as I can to make sure that you all enjoy the services which you are here. Then expertise. We are experts. I've told you how I got into IT. Just that experience gives me a good knowledge to teach you. I did not start IT today, right? I started as an absolute beginner years back. I've worked for various companies, okay? Alan is the same. He has worked for various companies. Barbara, Ghislaine, all these people that are telling you, come and take IT, they are now working for companies. They are professionals. You are not being taught by someone who is reading a book and teaching you. No. We teach you professional stuff because we are expert. I work as a DBA. I tell you this is what I did at work today. I teach you how to do that. With this, that's why when you're leaving our training at JoinIT, you're already leaving with some years of experience because you do the things that we do at work. And in interviews, you are able to express yourself that this is what I have done. This is what I have done. Okay? So before I go to the next slide, I would just like to call on one of us. I'll call on Ghislaine. I see you're here, right? So Ghislaine is an IT professional. Ghislaine is a team member here at JoinIT. Ghislaine finished his training. I'm bringing in Ghislaine because Domo mentioned that he comes from a French background. So Ghislaine has been here. He's working as a DBA. He's from a French background. He's helping people now get jobs. So I'm just going to give Ghislaine a couple of minutes to talk to you how this became possible.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, guys. And Brian, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. Guys, less than 1 year ago, I was sitting at the same position as you, and I started my training at JoinIT, and a few months later, first and foremost, my first challenge was a barrier language. I'm coming from the French background, and my first challenge was the barrier language. But I didn't take it as a challenge. It was just some kind of like motivation for me because what really helped me, since I know like I was a little bit behind because of the barrier language, I will make sure that before the class, I got a schedule, I got my class schedule. Before the class, I will make sure I went online, look at what's going to be taught in class today, watch some video about the topic. Then when I get in class, the topic is not new for me. At least I have an idea for the topic. That is what really, really helped me. And I remember Prof. Allen told me, don't worry about the barrier because we are talking about SQL. And SQL is one language. No matter where you are coming from, SQL is one language. Just focus on what you have to do. And he really, really helped me a lot, guys. Today, I have an opportunity to share my experience with people, help people, and I would say if your issue is because you say, okay, it's a barrier language, don't take it as an issue, take it as a challenge. And what I can say is, and this training is a hands-on training, like Prof. Brian said. We teach you, I mean, like it's a life, I mean, we just teach you what we have to do at work every day. I will come here and I will say, okay, this is what I did at work today, and share my screen with you, make you practice. And that really, really helped me a lot. The fact that you are here today is the first step, guys. And after 6 or 5 months, you will be celebrating. When I start my training after 4 months, after 5 months, I start applying. I wasn't ready yet. But I start applying, taking those interviews. And after the interview, I will come and I will go to my mentor, my professor, hey, this is what I got for the interview today. They will listen to it and they will say, okay, yeah, you did good, but you can, the next time you can do this, you can do this. And that is what really, really helped me. Thank you so much, Prof. Brian.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ghislaine. Let me share my screen here. So the next slide here is, oops, I'm not sharing. One moment. The next slide here, we're going to be looking at information technology, IT, right? Because this is what you all want to get into. What is IT? Because you cannot be getting into something where you don't even understand what that is. So we're going to look at IT in general, where information technology is just the study, right, or use of systems, especially computer systems, computer and telecommunication systems, to store, retrieve, and sending information. That is all. If you talk of information technology, it's just the use of systems, right? Computer system, telecommunication systems to be able to store, retrieve, and sending information. So if you look at the world at large today, it is all about information technology. Everything we do is all about information technology. So let me do an illustration here, what I am talking about. Okay, so we have talked about information technology, right? Which is IT. What is this? This is just the use of computers, telecommunication systems to be able to share information. So you see that we are talking about sharing information. So you see IT is all about a network of how things are connected, how things communicate, and how resources are being shared from a source to a destination. Okay, that is information technology. And I'm going to use this example. We talk of information technology. There are a lot of things that make up information technology. The first thing that we are looking at here is in the area of infrastructure. Infrastructure here simply means, what are those hardware, the computers, the physical computers, the network devices that are linked together to be able to have you set up an information technology system. Okay? That is infrastructure. The other thing you'll be looking at is development. Development here is when you have this network. How are you able to sit at home and send a message from your phone and someone receives it at the other end? That is development, because a team of people have developed an application that serves that purpose. When you're talking about development, you're also talking about information system needs, or IT needs, data management. Data management, if you look at the world in general, everything is centered around data. Right now, what are we doing? I'm exchanging information with you, right? When you go back and I upload this in YouTube, you are able to watch it. That is data. Me uploading that data in YouTube for you to be able to watch. Your contacts, your phone, a banking sector, they have applications, they store customers' information and everything, right? How does that data get stored? That is data management, right? You're also looking at security. Security now is how is this information technology era being secured? Okay, you are looking at IT management. IT management. So these are various, there are a lot of them, but these are the key areas that when you talk about information technology, you are looking at. Why am I bringing out this? I'm bringing out this because you can fit into any of these areas. If you're looking at getting into infrastructure, here you can say you can start learning things like computer hardware and software. You can start learning things like, storage, virtualization, how you can build these infrastructures for companies. When I talk of IT management, you can start learning things like project management. You can learn to become a scrum master. You can learn to do something that will help you manage projects that are IT related. When I talk of development, you can look at becoming an application developer. You can become a database developer. When we talk of data management, which is the key, data management here is very important because everything that centers around IT falls back to data. So this data that you have within IT, it needs to be managed. What are some of the things that you're looking at when it comes to this data? Right? You are looking at databases. You need to administer the databases where the data reside. You're looking at being able to develop databases. You are looking at data analysts to be able to use this data, analyze it. You are looking at data scientists to be able to perform some magic with this data that you have here. You are looking at report writers, people that just sit and get access to this data and generate reports. This is what data management is all about. So starting a career today in data management, you can be a database administrator. From there, you go to a data analyst. From there, you go to a data engineer. From there, you go to a data scientist. Now, security, very important. People can get into IT through the security route, where you become a security analyst, you become a SOC analyst. So if you look at all of this, you see that IT is very broad. Now, people get confused because you just want to get into IT. You don't know where to start. You don't know what to do. Someone just comes and tell you that come and do IT, and you just jump in there. You need to have this basic understanding. Once you have this basic understanding, it can start guiding you towards what path you want to take in the IT field. Does that make sense? Now, let us look at how this information technology, how do we really use this? I'm going to give you all an illustration of a company. So when you start, look at this as a company. This could be a financial company. It could be a bank, correct? If you're an accountant, yes, you pretty much have worked in a bank or somewhere. So within this company, what do they need to be able to meet up with their line of business? This company here, it needs, first of all, they need departments. All of these here are various departments that make up this company. If we are looking at a financial company, you can see lending department, you can see accounting department, you can see HR, you can see customer service, right? You can see what else? Risk management, you can see investment, and you can see other departments that make up this company. Now, what are the things that these departments, they need to be able to perform their duties? You see that this department, the first thing they need is what? Computers. These computers need to be networked. So I'm just going to generalize this and say hardware. They need applications, or we call them softwares. Okay? They have data. So they need databases. They need people or users to be able to access the databases and insert data into those databases, whatever. So this is a company. So when you look at this company, there is one department that is very vital to help this company go operational, to help this company get all of this in place. And this department is the IT department of that company. You see that for this company to be operational, you need this IT department. So this IT department helps you to provide computers. What computers should we buy? The design applications that the company is going to be using, the advice on the purchase of softwares, they manage their databases and all of that. So you see that the IT department is the integral part of every company. So if you find yourself in this IT department, regardless of whatever you're doing, that company holds you at heart. Like they know how valuable you are. So this IT department now is subdivided into various teams where you can have now, within this IT department, you can have system administration, you can have database administrators, you can have developers, you can have help desk analysts, you can have people, SSRS report writers or SSRS report writers, you can have security, you can have networking, you can have engineering and all of that. So these are all the departments put together that helps this company get set up and be fully operational. Without this IT department, this company will not work. Without this IT department, this company will be like in Jangi House in Cameroon, that they have an exercise book where they go every day and they write names of people who have contributed. And at the end of the day, they don't have any track record of stuff. So every company that is actually operational have some sort of IT in them. You see that the beauty of IT is you can start today from this department or from this team as a DBA, you switch over here, switch over here, switch over there. Because once you have that fundamental knowledge, you can easily make that switch. Are we together? So now, when we look at this, you see that if you consider starting a career in IT, that is a good thing for you. Hello? Are you all getting me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, we're following.
Good. So
It's good.
So I don't want to talk too much. Let me bring in another person here, who is one of our instructors at JoinIT. I would like to bring in, do we have Vanessa? Vanessa is not there. Okay. Robert, is Robert there? Vanessa, are you there?
Bro, I'm here, man. I'm on my phone because the class was still going on.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Just stay in class. Robert, what about Robert? Robert at JoinIT, I see you. Okay. Robert might just have stepped away. Okay. I'm sure they had a class this morning, so they are still trying to attend from class. Okay. So let me just proceed. The next thing that I want to look at now, okay? The next thing I want to look at now is some reasons why, now that you have understood IT, now that you have understood what is IT, right? Let us look at, let us look at some of the reasons for you to start this career in IT. This was supposed to be presented by Ms. Barbara, and due to work reasons, she's unable to do that. So I'm going to present this on her behalf. So the first thing I want to look at getting into IT is competitive salary. Guys, I'll not lie you. In IT, you have well-paid jobs. You have well-paid jobs. The minimum, if an IT professional, depending on your years of experience, you can start making 81,000 US dollars, depending on where you are. I'm just giving you some basic information, right? So ask anybody around you, what were you doing before? Now that you have switched to IT, what is the cost benefit of it? They'll tell you that in IT now, I make far more than I used to make when I was a teacher, when I was a nurse, when I was this. Job opportunities. Guys, there are a lot of jobs. Just looking at the illustration about a company, okay? You see that how many departments or how many teams are within IT? Multiple, DBAs, system administrators, this. If you have an accounting department, how many employees can you have within accounting? Might be just a chief accountant, an account clerk, might be just 3, 4. But in that IT department, you have various teams. In a big company, you can have more than 10, 15 DBAs. I will take questions after this, okay? You have career stability. Some people say IT jobs are gonna go away. It means you are simply telling me that IT is gonna go away. Because if you look at from 2010 till now, do you see the trend in IT? Everything is now a lot more IT inclined, everything. So IT jobs are not gonna go away. What people fail to understand here is that if you start as a DBA today, don't just stay as a DBA. New things are coming, learn new things to be able to move up the ladder. Don't get complacent. As a DBA today, I want to become a DBA for 30 years. No, I started as an IT assistant. I work as a DBA. I'm now moving into cloud computing. So we have that career path that we present to you when we have you started. Now, work from anywhere. The last time I was in Cameroon, I was able to work, right? I was able to work from Cameroon. I have one of my jobs that they have approved. I can relocate now, go work in Cameroon for 6 months, come back and go again. That is the beauty of IT. You don't need to be physically there. It's unlike, for example, no offense about this. If you are a nurse passing medication, you cannot pass medications online, right? Unless technology takes us to that point at times, or might be in some couple of years, where you can administer medications online, right? Might be giving someone an injection. You might just, IT can just make it easy. Like, just place your hand here, it will pick that medication, then drill it down to your body, right? But we have not gotten there yet. You need to be physically at that location to do that. But with IT, you can work anywhere. You make a difference when you're in the IT field. When everybody has an issue at work, when the accountants are unable to get to the application, when they're trying to print something is not printing, when they reset their password, what happens? You make a difference in their lives because you are there to support them. Okay, you are there to support them, right? It is lifetime learning. With IT, you need to constantly learn. Some people have been RMs for 50 years because you know what, that is all what they do. They go into the hospital, they do this. Some people have been teachers. You've been teaching a subject for 20 years. Think of a geography teacher. All he does is teaching. So you're gonna get tired at one point. You're gonna feel like, man, this is just repetition. You keep doing one and the same thing over and over. IT gives you that opportunity now that, okay, if you start as a DBA today, you can become a cloud DBA tomorrow. You can switch to networking. You can switch to engineering. You can do A, B, C, and D. Okay, that is IT for you. You don't really need a degree to get into IT. I tell everybody, I am an example. I told you all, I just recently got my associate and now I'm in school for a degree, right? But I've been working, how many years of experience do I have in IT? It beats that degree. Someone leaving school today with a degree in IT, and I putting in 10 years of experience working in the IT field as a DBA. Who do you think they're gonna hire? In IT, they look more of people who can do the thing, who can do the job. It's not about the academic profile. This does not mean that you should not go for your degree. Go for your degree, get that academic backing, but it should not limit you from getting into IT. If you have advanced level, you can read and write. This is something that you should do. Okay? Be known as a to-go person. Man, I feel happy at work when someone has an issue and they reach out to me that, hey, I'm unable to connect to this database. They know that this is, hey, let's reach out to the DBA, right? It's never a dull moment. You have interesting things. You have issues coming up that you cannot resolve. You need to go and do research. You need to go and do a lot of stuff. You know, continuality in innovation. A lot of things are happening now. A lot of changes. If you just stay as a DBA, what will happen? You're gonna get fed up, right? So that is IT. I'm gonna, at this point, I will take 2 questions related to what we have talked about, information technology, and this. Then we'll proceed. 2 questions. Alan, is there any question in the chat I should address?
No questions in the chat.
Okay. So anyone has a question, go ahead and ask. Is anyone inspired? Let's talk.
Yes, please. I have a question.
Go for it, Bertrand.
Yeah, I would like to know, you said there are many different profiles, and I would like to know those who are already professional, IT professional, are they going to start like, let's say, newcomer in the area? Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Okay, so that is a very good question, right? Like I have mentioned, if you're already an IT professional, what you might be in IT doing what? Computer repairs. That is IT. That really has no link with database administration. If you're telling me, if you're here, you're already taking a database administration class, we can best advise you on what route to take. But if you're in IT, you're doing security, you are doing computer hardware and repairs, you are doing, might be you are in school for a degree in IT. This training is strictly professional, right? So meaning that the first 3 months, you must attend the training because it builds you that foundation. Now, you can only make a difference after the first 3 months where you already have the fundamental of database administration. Then you can use your advanced knowledge now to go. Okay? The training has been designed for 6 months. So the advantage, if you already have knowledge, when you get in, you can take just the first 4 months and you understand this and start applying for jobs. You must not stay throughout the training for 6 months if you have the knowledge that you think you have. Okay, Bertrand? And based on when you start the training, we can tell how to better assist you. We have seen people who start this with a lot of knowledge in IT. And what we did is we released them advanced videos for them to watch. And in 2-3 months, they are done watching these class videos and they start applying for jobs. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Perfect. Okay, who else? All right, so at this point, I would like to bring in Chi Brian. Are you there?
I mean, if there is, I have another question if there is no person.
Sure.
Yeah, my next question is about language barrier. How are you dealing with that? I saw, I mean, there are some who are just Francophone, and most of the training is in English. So how are you dealing with that? Thank you.
Okay, so like Ghislaine mentioned, Ghislaine's background is in French. You can hear him talk. As long as you are able to read and understand, that is rather an advantage to you. We teach in English, right? You are already talking English very well, Bertrand, so I don't see that as a barrier. It will be an advantage to you when you go for interviews and you're telling that, oh, you know, I'm actually a French background, I learned English, and those people look at it that, oh, you can actually help the company in multiple ways. So going through the training, all you need to do is to be able to read and write. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. The question was not about me. I have a person who is typically a Francophone with no level. Zero. The level in English is not like as well.
No,
as
it's fine. As long as that person can understand, read and write, that is okay. So the person can actually use this training as a platform to learn the English because you have a more a good number of students to discuss with in English, and that eventually makes him or her better. Okay, that should not be a barrier.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Chi
Hello,
Brian.
I have a question.
All right, go ahead,
Yes.
Omega, and then I'll get Chi Brian to just give a word. They will proceed.
Okay, I would like to know, after our studying, will we be able to work in the whole discipline, or we have just one, we focus on one discipline, like developer, or we can do everything in IT?
You cannot be a jack of all trade and a master of all trade. You see the way I break down IT. IT is made up of various departments. These departments play specific roles, right? So you are specializing in database administration. That is what you do, and that is what the IT field is all about. You cannot have someone who does database administration, does computer networking, does application development, does storage engineering. You can always learn and go. If you have other knowledge, it helps you. If you go online and you're looking for a database administration job, they are specific to a database administrator. If you have knowledge in networking, that is okay. So we are teaching you today to be database administrators. It does not mean that you leave here and go apply for computer network engineering job because you have not taken that training. Okay? So IT is role-based. Each person has a role that they play in IT.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Bertrand.
Yeah, sorry. I really want to understand the differences between data administration, data management, data analysis, and I think data. Yes, between among all that data something. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take that. That was supposed to be my next slide. So let me take Chi Brian, give a word, then we'll go from there. Please, if you can unmute yourself.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are, good afternoon. I go by the name Chi Brian. I'm one of the instructors here in JoinIT Solutions. Just like Prof. Brian, our senior, my godfather when it comes to IT. Just earlier mentioned, this is a family, meaning I started here as a student and I've been able to transition from a student, secure a job, which I love so much. From that, being a mentor and also instructor assistant up to this level. That's just to tell you how, JoinIT is a family base, right? The focus here is the community. And when we talk about community, we talk about, growth, expansion, in different angles. So in JoinIT, you are here not just to get the training and you feel alone. From day one, they take you with zero IT knowledge, not just take you with zero IT knowledge, but they mold you in such a way that you are able to defend yourself after you complete your training. 5, 6, 7 years of experience, right? Depend how you work. Yeah, and day one, we won't spend it like it's easy. You got to put in the work. But before you put in the work is because you already have this strong foundation, which is JoinIT, meaning we have this foundation layout, which we believe that with this foundation, you get where you desire. You might be here because you need a flexible job because of the pay. But what I would tell you all is this is so realistic, right? It's so realistic. It can become just an illusion if you limit yourself. But if I can do it, I always use myself as an example. I'm not the bright student. I'm always the student that if there are 30 people in the class and they're doing promotion, I'll always be 29, right? Meaning I always let my people go. But when I came here and I was so fortunate to meet Mr. Chongwan Brian, and he told me about this, and I discovered that this was my only way out in this country. And when I say my only way out, meaning financially, flexibility, and it's going to give me that dream, which I want here in the United States. So I took the training seriously and I paid attention to all my teachers, and it paid off. You know, just a few months into the training, it paid off. So I just encourage you all, when I see you, you know, taking this, attending this orientation, it's just like a flashback to me. I think almost 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years now when I was, you know, trying to understand what is IT. So just to end this, I'll just tell you that you're in the right place. You have the support, the training support, the placement support, you know, when you get your job, not even if, when you get your job, you have the support that will be with you, you know, you won't feel alone. So it's a family base. And once you look at it as a family base, definitely you understand what I'm talking about. So I encourage you all, and I look forward to working with you as we continue. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you, Chief Brian, for that wonderful information, and thanks for sharing. So let's go to the next thing, right? We talk about, you asked about what is all this data and everything. So generally in a company, right, we have said data is that most valuable asset of a company. So when you are in a company and everything that has to do with data, we classify that under data management, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about here is look at, under data management, there are a lot of things that you can do. You can see data analyst. So a data analyst is someone whose job is to gather and interpret data in order to solve specific issues, right? I can give you a bunch of data here, collecting statistics from the field. You know, look at these people that do research. They go out there, they ask people, oh, what are your challenges, everything. They gather that data. What do? They come now and they analyze that data to be able to address some specific issues, okay? That is what a data analyst does. They give you data. For example, I can send you now, Domo, to Angola. Go to one village, get me like 100 people, collect their names, their date of birth, what challenges they are having, how do they think we can help them. Once you gather that data and you bring in now, me as an analyst, I'm going to go into it and look at, okay, we have 50 people said this. If we implement this strategy, it's going to help them in this area. That is data analyst. Companies need data analysts. These are people that will look at the company's data, like a bank. An analyst can look at the number of new members that came into the bank this year, what was the total savings, what was the total this, and try to analyze the data and say, hey, we can actually address this issue of low savings by doing A, B, C, and D. So that is an analyst working on that data. You can become a data analyst. The other thing here is data science, okay? What is data science? Data science is just a study of data. It's a study of data extract, right? Meaningful insight of a business. It's a study of data to extract meaningful insight for a business. There's a lot of data scientist stuff going over there, right? That is higher level. Because data scientists, they do really more looking into this data. They study the data very well, and they extract some meaningful insight from that data. Whereas an analyst is there to do what? Address a specific issue from that data. Whereas a data scientist is looking at that data to bring in some meaningful insight out of it. The next thing I'm going to talk about is data engineering. Let me keep database administration for now. So data engineers work in a variety of settings to build systems, right, that collects, manages, and convert raw data into usable information. What am I saying here? Take, for example, a data engineer, right? When you're a data engineer, this simply means that you work with various sources of data. You can capture data from location A, capture data from location B, capture it from location C, then put that data in a centralized location where now the data analyst can go in there and make those decisions. A data scientist can go in there and make those insights. That is what a data engineer does. So you need to have knowledge now on how to extract data from different sources, convert the data to be something meaningful, and keep it somewhere for now your data analysts and data scientists to be able to get in and do what they're doing. Now, database administrator. Where does data reside? Data resides on a database. Okay? Data resides on a database. So a database administrator now is the person that administers that database. Look at the database administrator as an administrative assistant in a company. Before someone goes to see the boss, who do they go to? They pass through the administrator, right? To go and see the boss. The administrator is sitting there. He gives permission to everybody. A database administrator makes sure that the company's database or databases are secure. A database administrator makes sure that whoever is having access to that databases actually requires that. So they manage permissions on those databases. A database administrator makes sure that the databases are backed up to ensure disaster recovery. If a database gets deleted today, how do we recover it? So you are doing the administration work on that database. Now, a database architect, even before a database administrator comes in to administer that database, how does that database get created? That is being done by a database architect or a database developer. Now, we need a database to manage a school, right? We need to be storing students' information, their scores, and everything. Where does it start from? It starts from a database architect gathering these requirements and now building a database. The administrator now just administers the database that has already been developed. The analysts, they go into that database, they make decisions. The scientists, they go in, they get insight. The engineers are able to consolidate the data that is coming from multiple sources and put them in a centralized location. Hello? Are we together?
Yes, we are following you.
Yes.
So now,
Yes, we are
do you
following.
think you can work in a company and you have a title of a data analyst, data scientist, data administrator, engineer? No.
Yes.
You can start going gradually. You start today, the easiest way is database administration. When you understand how to administer databases, you can move to become an analyst, you can move to become a scientist, you can move to become an engineer. If you don't even know how to administer one database, how do you become a database engineer? How do you consolidate the databases from multiple sources and put them together? So the best way to get into IT is you starting here as a database administrator, or you starting as a database architect, which is our next training that we're going to be offering. We want to have people, especially those in Cameroon, because that is what they are lacking. Cameroonians or companies don't have databases. So you want to be an administrator, administering what? So you want to teach them development so they can go to companies and build databases for them. And now administrators will be administering those databases. We should be grounded up pretty soon. I'll take one question here. One question,
All right.
and Ms. Barbara will talk on this slide on the screen, who is a database administrator, right? So I explained to you. Yes, Andoma.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the explanation. Just a quick question that came in my mind. So SQL, I really know about the cloud and the Oracle, something like this. Or what is the difference between among them?
Okay. Good question. So when we talk of databases, right? Databases are managed with a database management system. Just like you, right? You might have an Android phone. I might have an Apple phone, right? Some might have, what was that first operating system of phone? Is it BlackBerry or what was it called?
Motorola.
So people might have different flavors, right? So you yourself will look at database management system. There is SQL Server, which is a Microsoft-owned product. There is Oracle. There is MySQL. There is MariaDB. All of these are database management systems, but we are training you SQL Server database administration. Once you have that knowledge, you can easily learn the other things. Why SQL Server? Because SQL Server is what is mostly used out there. It is owned by Microsoft. Majority of companies use that. Does it mean that when you are the SQL DBA, you cannot work on Oracle? No. But which one is easier for you to learn? That is SQL Server. Oracle is not your mate, right? Just kidding, right? But people still learn it from scratch. But the easiest way we have identified a lot of jobs in SQL, the simplicity of it, SQL Server is easier for you to learn because you click. This is SQL Server, right? You're able to click. If I tell you, create a database, you are able to click here, right? Click and you see, I can create, I can restore a database, I can do everything. These are databases here. So you're able to see them and do a lot of stuff. But Oracle, for the most part, it is on a Linux operating system, and you need to understand Linux before you administer Oracle. So let me get Ms. Barbara. She'll tell us about herself, and she'll go over who is a database administrator, and we'll continue from there. Thank you, Ms. Barbara, and welcome.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Oh, it's already afternoon by my time. So good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. I'm so impressed. I hear you guys coming from different locations, and I know that you guys are equally coming from different backgrounds, just like me. While others had backgrounds like nursing, medical doctors, pharmacists, carpenters, we even have a hairdresser who became a database administrator, just FYI. My own background was in teaching, and it was teaching the English language, you know? So now you begin to imagine what's the relationship between a chalk on the board and a well, I did not know that there could be a relationship until I made up my mind and got started some 5 years ago. And I see myself, I remember this is so nostalgic. Well, the difference is that at our own time, we did not know that technology was not this advanced. So we did not know that we could actually take this program from the comfort of our home. So we used to drive in the cold and go to our teacher's house. So this was, our own orientation was also on a Saturday. I reluctantly carried myself to an orientation class like this. And once we were there, it did not take up to 3 people to actually give their testimonies before I made up my mind and say, hey, this is what I am actually going for. Just FYI, when I came to America, I wanted to be a pharmacist. I mean, I wanted to do medicine. I don't know how I was planning to make that happen, but I knew that I was going to do it. So I got started, but one of my friends advised me and said, you know, go ahead and just do one of these IT programs, just get started. And once you get started, you can do whatever you want to do. Lo and behold, I got started and now I am stuck. Stuck, why? Because I'm well paid. I have work-life balance. You know, I enjoy what I am doing. And because that changed my life, I decided to come back to JoinIT, offer my services, you know, give back to the community, encourage people who are willing to get started and be better than me as well. And so I currently work as a database administrator. So who is a database administrator? Just like we have on this PowerPoint right here, a database administrator is an IT professional who is responsible for directing and performing all activities related to maintaining a successful database environment. So when we say database administrator, let us start by breaking this word database. You see that it is divided into 2. One is data and the other one is base. We will say that the base is where the data resides, right? So every data is residing in a database. So now we need someone to take care of that data that resides inside of that database, and that's where the word administrator comes in. So a DBA will make sure that an organization's database and related applications operate functionally and efficient. So when you now hear that data resides in a database, you will now equally understand that every organization that you can think of, including you, owns some data that resides in a database that needs to be protected. That is why database administrators are needed all over the world. Now, the data that resides in the database is protected differently depending on the kind of system that it resides in. But for you and I, who are SQL Server database administrators, our responsibilities will be to install, configure, and upgrade Microsoft SQL Server and related products, which means that when you get to an environment and you start working, you may get to an already organized environment. And even if you get to an already organized environment, what happens? You will need to manage what is already there. When they are bringing in new applications, you will need to install, you need to configure. When I talk about an application, it's not some weird thing. You see WhatsApp is an application. You see Facebook is an application. You see Instagram, that's an application. Which one again? TikTok is an application, right? And those applications have their back end to a database. Now, have you ever been, let's say, logging into your bank app and then it's kind of erroring out and telling you that you should try again later? That's probably because the database is down and the database administrator right there is on a hot seat. So as a DPA, you need to always ensure that those people who are using those front-end applications are always able to use it by making sure that the database at the back end is always up and running. Now, I had one of my students ask me, that, okay, what if I go into an environment and all installation and all configuration has been done? What am I supposed to be doing? So I told them that, well, you equally need to do other things like what? Upgrading. There are different versions of SQL Server, just like there are different versions of iPhone, right? We have SQL Server 2008 up to 2022, which was currently released. So now, in situations where those versions of SQL Server are old, you will go ahead and upgrade them. So that's one of your responsibilities. And we are going to be teaching you guys all of these things. Now, you equally need to implement and maintain database security. Wow, I never ever understood that data security was just as important until I started working as a database administrator. Security is a whole big thing. And as a database administrator, you need to ensure that your databases are secure. And there are different things that you can actually do to ensure that these databases are secure. Guess what? You will not learn them on your own. We are going to teach you. Implement disaster recovery. You know, there was one time Brian talked about how disaster recovery is, he used a relationship between a girl with two boyfriends. Well, I don't want to bring that here. I just remembered and it was funny and I thought I should share. So you will equally make sure that these databases are highly available in case of a disaster. What happens? If your server A or the server that houses all your Bank of America databases, if the server goes down, does it mean that all the customers will not have access to their money anymore? You will definitely have access to your money again because SQL Server is that smart. It has implemented strategies that in case something happens to this set of databases, there are other ones which are up and kicking and running and ready to take over from where the other ones stop. Database performance tuning and monitoring. Wow, this one is a whole big deal. We can have one server that is housing like several databases, and all of these server databases are doing different things. We have multiple users doing different things on those different databases on one server. This may cause the server to slow down a little bit. This may cause the server to time out. And you, as a database administrator, I always call myself, I am very, very proactive. Why? Because I monitor my systems to ensure that when there are too many users on the system, what do I need to do in order to optimize this performance and all of that good stuff? And we will teach you. There are other key responsibilities of a database administrator, which you will get to discover once you get started. How now do you become a database administrator? It's easy. You just need to understand what database management systems to specialize in. And in your case, you probably understood that Microsoft SQL Server is one of those relational database management systems that you should specialize in. Seek guidance from already working DBAs. I always say that this set of DBAs are so blessed. Unlike in our case, we had very few people who were DBAs, very few, and then we still succeeded and found ourselves here. You can talk to anybody that you know that is working as a DBA. Man, Brian has just told you that he's working as a DBA. Alan, Eleanor, Chi Brian, myself, bug them, ask them, how does the life of a DBA look like? What exactly did you do? Is it true what Barbara was saying about the key responsibilities of a database administrator? How did you get here? I really want to be like you, right? So the next thing is take database administration hands-on training and certifications. This is extremely important, right? People have come in the past and they're like, wow, I really admire you. I want to be a database administrator. And then I say, okay, this is how I will do. This is what I did. This is what I did. 3 months later, I can advise them to get started. And they're like, yes, I'm going to get started. Then I'm like, oh, how is the class going? When I got to the class, I saw this program on YouTube and I decided to watch it. Hello, you cannot do this on your own. It is advisable to take an instructor-led database administration hands-on training. They will guide you because there is a structured program which will take you from zero to hero. Imagine these YouTube videos that people are watching left and right. I don't even know how people do that, but I don't know anyone who has done that and succeeded. And that's just an FYI. Then Once you're taking this hands-on training, build a network of IT professionals. Hello, come to my phone contacts. You will see this one IT, you see that one IT. You know, you need to stay in the circle because IT is something that is evolving. You need to stay where they speak that knowledge that you understand. That is what is going to really help you grow. Apply for DBA jobs. This is one of the sweetest. Imagine that you've gathered all of the knowledge and it's time for you now to apply for jobs. Tell me what is going to limit you. Once you're applying for jobs, you're talking to your IT professionals, you're still falling back to the community where you took your database administration training. In your case, it's going to be JoinIT Solutions. They're going to put different groups for you, mentors, instructors, assistants, who are going to go ahead and advise you, help you. The interview prep team will be there in the forefront directing you on how to go about this DBA job application. Okay, now you've applied your jobs, you've gotten your job, or are you still applying for jobs? Apply your career by learning new skills. Well, I'm a perfect example. I started as a database administrator. Before you knew it, I started going and learning Azure, I started learning AWS, learning just so many other things until I found myself acquiring a master's degree in IT. Imagine, from an English language teacher to having a master's in IT. It's possible. How? If you get started. Now, so why should you choose database administration? It is less work and more pay. Who doesn't want to work less and earn more? It is easy to learn. And this is what I tell my students. I always tell my students that, look, if you were able to pass the advanced level, you are able to do this. First, look at the advanced level. I know that the smallest number of, I know the Cameroon curriculum more. That's why I'm referring to advanced level. If you are able to graduate from high school, let me put it that way, because in high school, you have different things that you specialize in, right? But now you are only specialized in one thing, which you're just supposed to master it to your fingertips. That's the only thing you're specialized in. You're not specialized in maths, geography, economics, and you are specialized only in one thing. Then there are numerous job opportunities. I remember when I was taking my training, each time I go to class and I learn something that I know, I'm going to go online on Indeed, and then I Google like a job, like DBA jobs, companies hiring for DBA jobs. Then I'll see exactly what they need. Then I'll be like, oh, maybe we did installation and configuration that day in class. I'm going to look and see if they have installation and configuration, and that's going to fire me more. And sometimes when I look for this job, I'll see 32,000 companies looking for database administrators. And I'm like, I feel like I should start applying now. And the story has not changed. There are still many numerous job opportunities out there. And then one thing that people should say is that when I just started, some people were like, there is no job security in IT, just FYI. Wow. But I started working, and then somebody say, I've been in IT for the past 35 years. I've been in this company for 20 years. And I begin to wonder if their parents have a share. That's beginning to be my story now. Start telling people, I've been in IT for the past 6 years. I've been working in this organization for the past 4 years. Nobody has said you should go. Every day they come and increase my pay. Meaning that I am so valuable. They need me. They don't need me to go anywhere. IT is one of the biggest things that I know that there is job security. Why? Because firstly, it is difficult to understand that environment. Then when you understand it, sorry for the other, difficult is just lack of a better word to use. It's not difficult, actually. It's just that you just need to understand that environment. And once they identify that you've understood their environment, they don't want to let you go. Because if they let you go, bring in another person. If another person understands the environment, it's a whole different ballgame. So IT is one of the places that I've seen that there is just so much job security. Now, once you've understood their environment, when they are rolling in new programs, what happens? They continuously train you. You see, they start training you just because you already understand their systems. It's going to be very easy for you to understand the new things that they're implementing instead of bringing someone different. And then the next, should you equally get into database administration again? Takes care of the most important asset of the company. Brian just said that it feels so good when somebody comes up to you and says that they need help on something. Well, it's sweeter for me when somebody comes and says, please, can I have access to this particular database or to this set of data? You know, I'm managing the most critical part of the organization. I need to be very careful, right? And then this is me saying that you need to open up a request and have it approved. You know, That's just me being careful, and it makes me extremely happy that I'm a database administrator and I'm able to manage all of those. So these and more are the reasons why you should become a database administrator. Recently, one good reason even just added the fact that you have the ability to work from home. Well, not everybody will work from home, but majority of the database administrators that I know today, including myself, we all work from home. This is that work-life balance. I get work less and get paid more. You can be part of this if you get started today. If you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them in the end. And thank you very much for listening. Brian, I'm done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, Brian, I'm done. It's muted.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Barbara. Thank you. Is anyone inspired? Is anyone inspired?
It's so inspired.
Yeah.
I'm inspired.
All right. Perfect. So now we're gonna go to the next, and before I go there, since you have heard from a lady, right? I'm gonna bring in one other lady, Trisha. She's she's currently enrolled in the C8 class that just started. I would like her to give us just an idea of what she has seen in JoinIT, and if what she has seen can pull you people to come and take this training. I'll just have Trisha just take the floor.
Okay, okay, Prof, thank you. And good morning to everyone. Oh boy, I'm so glad to see my Prof right there, Prof Babi. Look, let me tell you all, this is my third IT school that I've been to. This is far the best. I'm not making a commercial. When you take it, you talk to others, you see it. I actually just finished my class and I had to write to Prof Brian. I just keep always going back to thank them. And I said, Prof, somebody can think I'm seeking for notice. I am not. It's because of the experiences I've had. It's the best school I've had. All the professors are so good. Prof Babi is my main professor. I've had Prof Brian, I've had Prof Allen, Prof Sidi, Prof Ephraim, Prof Emmanuel. None of them below par. Their dedication to excellence is exemplary. And let me tell you all something. I'm already working as a DBA. Prof Babi surely doesn't know this. Prof Babi doesn't know I'm a DBA myself. So I got a job. I was doing Oracle and I got a job in a SQL Server. And I did not really know it. And I'd been looking for where I can go and have training. So this is my second school I'm going there for training. And somebody told me that, look, don't be discouraged, come to JoinIT. And since I've been there, when I said zero regrets, every single day, I'm thanking my stars. I just finished my class, a review class, and I posted a note to Prof Babi, posted a note to Prof Brian in gratitude. And you asked me that I have a job, why am I learning? When you're in the IT field, it's continuous self-improvement. I wanted to do the certification, and I was wondering, what is my best way to learn? As Prof Babi said, there are many ways you can learn. I began going to YouTube. I've done YouTube videos. You hear about Udemy. You hear about Indians. Indians will give you a course that's just like $100. And before you start getting excited that you want to go and take that course, let me tell you, with the courses the Indians offer, you're like 1,000 in a class. You have no chance to ask any questions. They will just come in, they teach, and they go. No practicals, nothing. So when Prof Babi said an instruction-led learning is the best, believe me, what I've learned in this class, we just began, I think maybe 6 weeks ago, I don't recall when we began. The amount I've learned is, I don't know what to say. I've learned a lot, because the structure of JoinIT is very conducive to learning. You have groups. So in addition to the groups that my professor put us in, just us as students, we already created our groups. And one thing I've seen in IT is that you depend on each other. So networking, as Prof. Babi said, is actually very critical. It's one of the things that's going to keep you going. The same people you're seeing here are the same people that you'll be relating to them, because when you get your jobs, you might come into something that, a question that you don't know, you want somebody you can call and ask. So forming that network is very, very important, very, very important. But I'll tell you that what really makes me really like this school is the fact that they are very dedicated teachers, very dedicated. Again, as I said, I've taken 3 schools, is the best. I don't know if there's anything else you want me to add. I don't know, but to me, that one thing I was going to say is that, please, everything you're learning in the classroom applies to work, and I can attest to that. I work already. So all the things they are doing, see, when Prof. Babi is talking, I just finished my class right here. I have papers everywhere I write down. A lot of things that she'll say, please write it down. All of these professors, because they've been in the field. This is why JoinIT stands out. They are professionals in the field. So many things that she's saying that you might think is just nothing. When I began working, they talk about Active Directory. I had no clue. I had to start running to YouTube, running to Google to go and do. And I was talking, and Prof. Babi was just one day just lecturing. And she said, when everybody is higher than the Active Directory, I put it down, it rang a bell. Because when I began working, they told me, go and check a user in Active Directory. I didn't know where to go. So just to let you know that it's not just hands-on, but whatever they are teaching is very relevant to the workplace, very relevant. The class meets 2 days a week. Saturday is called a review class. But I can tell you that not only are they reviewing, they are also introducing you new things and reinforcing the old things. Prof. Babi gave us an assignment. I'd finished my assignment and posted it. And I went back from Babi and I sent you a note. You probably didn't see it because you were here. And I told her that I am reposting my assignment based on the review class. I'm adding scripts to it and I'm adding what I learned today. So I just want to tell you all that for somebody like me who is working, this class, what you're learning is very applicable to what you do in your job. There's nothing I've seen, no one lecture I've seen that I cannot relate to my job. Okay, that's all, Prof. Except anybody have any questions, but that's it. You are muted, Prof.
Thank
Brian.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for those wonderful words of encouragement. And just to add to that, Trisha told you that she took a training in Oracle, right? She's been working as Oracle, but she did not limit herself. She's coming out to take SQL Server, and she has actually fallen in love with SQL Server. If you can ask her, she'll be the better person to tell you if you have to start a career in IT as a DBA, should you go SQL Server or should you go for Oracle, and why? So we're not going to bring that discussion. I know the answer. I've already told you. So she's a better person to make that analysis for you. So because we are running out of time, I'm going to get questions. She's going to be around. You can put your questions in the chat. She'll be able to, if there is something that she needs to come in, I'll bring her in. So now, let us just go through this real quick, right? Our training structure and methodology at JoinIT. Within the first 2 weeks of the training, it is absolutely free. So we consider everybody as an absolute beginner. It is within these first 2 weeks that we build you that foundation. We get you into the student mode where you understand that you need to learn. We teach you about computer basics. You understand how the IT environment is structured. You understand the responsibilities of a DBA, and we introduce you to databases and database management systems, where you'll be able to look now at Oracle, SQL, relational databases. Why this one over that? So now, after these 2 weeks, it is free because it goes along with our line to bridge the gap. Right, just this 2 weeks computer fundamental class that we offer for free has changed a lot of lives. Even if you attend it and you don't want to continue the training, it is at no cost, but it will help prepare your mind. There are some students here who attended the first 2 weeks and they can tell you they are coming back today because the first 2 weeks actually helped them to make a decision. After the first 2 weeks, we consider now the next 4 months of training. After that 4 months, you are looked now as a junior to mid-level database administrator, where you are able to perform all those functions that Prof. Babi mentioned. You are able to perform all those functions, right? Looking at installing SQL Server, configuring it, upgrading it, creating and managing databases, ensuring database security, database monitoring and performance tuning, and job application and resume building. Within 4 months of training, we start pushing people to apply because applying is part of the training. After that, the next 2 months, which you are rounding up with your training, is now a lot of interesting and high-level stuff, where we now start getting into implementation of high availability solutions, implementation of disaster recovery. We look at virtualization, a lot of things that system administrations do. Then we emphasize again on job application. After you're done with your 6 months training at JoinIT, if you have not had a job, we put you in a 3 months intensive interview preparation at no cost. This is where a lot of students get their jobs, where you are placed in the interview team. We attend classes again twice or 3 times a week. You meet 2 days as interview prep team in general. Then you have 1 day with your mentor who makes sure that you're applying, address any concerns. So this is 3 months of another free training. Any student that does not go through JoinIT and comes to attend just our interview prep, they pay $1,500. But to anyone who have gone through the training, this is at no cost to you. So this is what makes us outstanding. Some training schools, once you are done with 6 months, they drop the mic, go and start applying. You don't even know how to build a resume. No one listens to your interview to guide you on what you said or did not say right? So now, after these 3 months, what happens? You get your job offer. Then we push you now to start learning something. Once you get your job, you're placed in the alumni group. That alumni group is made up of DBAs. You have an issue at work, we help you. We tell you now to, okay, take our Azure training. Even by the time you're done here and you're in the job market, we introduce you to administering relational databases in Azure, which is cloud computing. These also help people to get their jobs, right? So why should you choose us? It is clear our success rate, every class that we have graduated in JoinIT has 80% job success rate. Every class. From our C1, you all are going to be the C9 class. Some classes we have 2, like now C8 has C8A and C8B. Okay, you all are going to be just 1 class because the number, as we expected, is just 1 class. So you see 80% success rate for each class. And it's not like sugarcoating. You see me posting people. Then affordable training fees. Look at all of this training I'll give you. Free 2 weeks of training, the free 3 months of interview preparation. That is almost 1 year of your stay at JoinIT. I go to school. Do you know how much I pay for 1 course that I take towards my degree program? It's close to $2,000. Can I use that course to get a job? No. Do they even follow me up? No. I just need to go online and Google stuff and go submit assignments, right? So this is what we do for you. Career orientation. Come to think of it, if I just carry you today and put you in a DBA training, will you understand all these basic things you've talked about? No. If I don't start with you the first 2 weeks to orientate you on what you can do, you will be missing in class. So this is also very important. We offer you catch-up and tutorial classes. Guys, the only person that does not get a job, right, is not on JoinIT, because we do everything. We follow up one-on-one. You have mentor, even them as teacher, they are seen in class now, they have a group, they have a mentor. The mentor ensures that they meet. They have revision classes. When they have any questions they put in the chat, we can have an ad hoc class that is organized to address a student's issue. We are available 24/7. If I am to show you all the schedule of JoinIT, you will see that it is not, we are not here to play. We are not here like just a group of people who have finished a training and they say that, hey, let us go and teach. Let us take 2 people and teach. No, look at how our week at JoinIT looks like. Look at, this is a typical week. This is a schedule of the week at JoinIT. We have classes from Sunday, this was the 12th, to Sunday the 18th, or to Saturday the 18th. So we are on 24/7 to help. Look at C1, C2 in Cameroon, interview prep. Look at interview prep. How many classes do we run? So we are building a community. How many instructors do we have at JoinIT? We have over 25. Trisha says she has met just 4. There are over 25 instructors, over 30 mentors. So it is a community. It's not a group of people that are saying, oh, let's start a school. We have been doing this for so long and we have been consistent. You have experienced instructors, one-on-one mentorship, interview preparation and resume building, on-the-job support, and continuous learning. Okay? So what are some of the challenges that we have facing getting into IT? This was supposed to be presented by by Vanessa, but she was still in class. So I'm going to take this. So some challenges that you people have is insufficient or lack of information. Some people do not have the information today. If I did not have this information, I would not have started the training. If I did not share the information with you, you would not have known. Giselle would have been doing something else today if you did not have the information. So a lot of people don't have the information. Now that you have it, go and share with your friends. Tell them that this is something you can do. Just that word that you're giving somebody can change their life. Post JoinIT on your status to educate others. Now, learning something new is always a challenge. Most of us here, of course, Africa, we don't like to read. People are scared to learn something new. They always say that you cannot be doing the same thing and expecting different results. This is something you need to make up your mind that, you know what, I'm at the point in my life where I need to learn something new. Get in there, hang in there, and you'll get it. Mentorship and training institution. Some people don't have mentors. Like now, Chi Brian can tell you, I remember the day he came to San Antonio, I called him. We discussed. And I told him that this is what you have to do. I've been in his life throughout, and I ensure that he succeeds. Giselle have a lot of students that are under his mentorship. He makes sure that they succeed. Barbara does the same. Prof. Ephraim, the same. Everybody. So we have that at JoinIT. Some of you don't start IT because you don't have that mentor. So let JoinIT play that role of being a mentor in your life. Another thing is the training institution. Guys, go online. Hundreds of people will say, oh, there's a training school here, they teach this, they teach that. All of those things are, I don't want to call them, right? But when your training institution has a huge impact towards your success. Go to a school that has a track record. I'm telling you, Giselle is my student. He's not coming here to lie to you. Vanessa is my student. Chi Brian is my student. Alan instructed them. Barbara instructed them. Alan is my student. I'll get you one moment, Trisha. You see, all of these things, you need to put them in practice. Don't just go to a school because someone tells you that go to this school. Or this person was in a JoinIT, he has left and he's opened his school, you know, you need to go there. No, look for an institution that has that track record, that is professional, that is dedicated towards your success, not your money. At JoinIT, what we do, we cannot equate that to the 3,000s that you have, that you pay us, right? Because we are more of a community. Okay, so next, that continuous learning, financial and family commitment. A lot of people will say that, man, I cannot pay 3,000. Give you an example. Giselle paid 3,000 for his training. That 3,000 is his 2 weeks. It's not even up to his 2 weeks paycheck. But at the beginning, if he was holding and looking at that 3,000 to be something like, I cannot spend this, what would have happened? He would have been doing the same thing he was doing. At JoinIT, we even go to that point of telling you that you don't need to pay 3,000 at once. You don't need to pay 3,000 at once, right? You pay monthly. If you pay the first month, the second month, you feel like you cannot pay, you can always postpone your training and come back and pay a retention fee and continue from there. It's not the money. If it is the money, we'll tell that before you start class on day one, pay your tuition. An institution that does that to you, if you go to a school and they just say that, okay, you need to pay, just know that once they hold that money, do they have any control? Do you have any control over it? No. So we want to teach you, you see the value and you happily pay. People happily pay their tuition at JoinIT because they see the value in it, right? Of course, you have families. There are a lot of us here. There are parents, you have kids and everything. Those are going to be challenging, but you need to make sure that you are able to overcome them. Being overloaded. In the US, some people do 5 jobs, 3 jobs. How do you get out of those 3 jobs? Because if you keep doing the same thing, oh, I cannot stop one of my jobs because I'll not be able to meet up. You continue doing 3 jobs and getting $10 an hour with no sleep. sacrifice 6 months, cut off some of your workload, cut off some of your social activities, and dedicate that 6 months and see the beauty out of it. Okay, so I'll give you more general questions. So what is the class schedule going to look like? Again, this is for people that are not in Cameroon. Cameroon class schedule will be announced. Okay, so our classes are this session, the C9 class, which you're going to be part of, is going to be from Mondays from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and Wednesdays. That's when we're having classes, Mondays and Wednesdays. Then on Saturdays, in the morning, same time with, in the morning like 8, we have a revision class, like Trisha mentioned, because we want to make sure if you are going into the next class, you should have an understanding of everything that was taught throughout the week. We give a lot of assignments, we give a lot of projects. So on Saturday, we want to make sure that you have understood what was taught on Monday and Wednesday. Those in Cameroon, the College of Technology, that will be announced. These are our training fees. These are non-negotiable. We don't discuss why this is that, why that is that. So if you're in the US or Canada, you pay $3,000. If you're in Europe or North or South America, you pay $2,000. If you're in the Middle East, it's $1,500. If you're in Cameroon, the College of Technology is $310,000, right? Which is approximately $600. If you are in any other country in Africa, it's $600. These are our training fees. This is very affordable as compared to the training that you have here. So the expectations we need from you all students, we have 6 more minutes. Commitment and dedication towards the training. That is the first thing. If you just come here like you want to accompany someone, if you come here, you have not made up your mind that, man, no matter what, I will do this. Right? Let this thing be to you like a soccer game. If Liverpool is playing Arsenal, or if Liverpool, this brother they won them 7-0. Wow, what team was it? Gislen, what team was it? United. Man U. Who won them 7-0 like that?
Liverpool.
So even at the 87th minute, they knew that they could not make it.
It's Manchester. It's Manchester.
So even at the 50th minute or the 70th minute, they know that they could not make it. They are down 7-0. Did they back out? What kept them is hope, right? So if you are in this training, if you start, just be like a Manchester United fan or player. Hang in there till you go to the finish line. Okay? Hello to all the Manchester United fans.
Brian, do you know what you just did?
What did I do?
You know already. Come on.
Are you a fan of that club as well?
Let's continue, please.
Accept my sympathy. So never you give up. You have to be there till the end. Even if the classes are tough, stay there. Stay there. You definitely learn something. Even though Manchester United did not win, but they learned from the playing style of Liverpool. Right? It was not a lose-lose. They actually learned. So they took the 7-0 as a defeat, but they learned that, okay, next time we're going to use this loophole that these guys were using, we'll defend, we'll fix this and win the next team. So do not give up. If you are coming to this training, be like a Manchester United fan. Okay. So the next thing that you need now, computer requirements. So it is very important that you have these specifications. We need a Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer. A MacBook will not work. That computer needs to have at least 16 GB of RAM. Okay, that computer needs to have good storage. I think 500 GB is okay. Then you need an external monitor like this. So if you have your laptop, you need to have an external monitor, because when we say hands-on, if I am sharing my screen here and I'm doing something on my screen, you are looking, how do you now practice on the other screen if you are looking at my screen? So you need to have at least 2 display devices. So we'll send this in the group. The next thing is work on the schedule. Is there anyone here who have not filled out the application form? Alan, please share that in the group. So work on your schedule to start attending classes. Classes are starting We'll announce the exact date if it is going to be April 3rd, as we have discussed, but prepare now. Give yourself 2 weeks. Prepare to start classes. Okay? Prepare to start classes in April, as we have discussed. Now, fill out the application form. Get a computer. You are in a group now. Ask any question in that group. I'll be able to help you. Stay connected. Invite your friends. There is something about learning together. When you leave today, I'm going to send a video of this orientation. Share it with somebody that, hey, this is a class I think we can do together. The first 2 weeks is free. Come, let us try it, right? 99% of people that come in the first 2 weeks, they go through the training because of what we do. So at this point, I'll take a question from Bertrand. Any question? Yes, Bertrand, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. About the fees.
I wasn't sharing my screen. Oh.
You're sharing.
Are you seeing what I see on my screen, Bobby?
Next step.
Next steps.
Oh, okay.
On the schedule.
All right. Yes, Bertrand. I'll take Bertrand. Let me see.
Yeah, thank you. So I was asking if somebody start the course in one location and then change the location, why the course is still going on? Will that change the fees to pay? Like, for example, somebody start when apply when he was in Cameroon, then change after a couple of days to travel to US or Canada or Europe. Did that change the fees to pay?
Attendance, and we'll treat that on a one-on-one basis, right? Because also we have had people who said, oh, they have Cameroon number. They say they're in Cameroon. They're going to register like they're in Cameroon. Then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they say, oh, I just recently moved to Canada, right? So actually, we look into all of those. If that is an actual case, we'll discuss that on a one-on-one basis. But know that wherever you take the training, the location, the fee is tied to that location. Yes, Francis.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
My question is directed to Ghislaine because I have a French background like him, and I want to ask him if, as he said, before attending a class, he was watching a video a day before. So I want to ask where that video is located. Hello?
Yes, Francis. Yes, I get you, Francis.
Yes, because you said before attending the class, you watch a video before the class. So I want to know where the video is located.
Yes, Francis, thank you so much. When you start the class, they will send you a PDF form with all the topics we're going to be teaching during the training. Now, during the training, and as Prof. Brian showed on the presentation, we have a schedule. We know this week this is what we're going to be learning this week. Just get the topic. Let's say this week we're going to be learning database creation. Just get that topic and then go on YouTube. On YouTube, you will just find several videos related to the database creation. Then you watch the video, and then when we get in class, at least you have an idea for what is the database creation. The topic won't be totally new for you. That was my approach.
Okay, thank you.
And we should do tips, on individual. When you come in the first week of class, the first day is just having more information on how to be successful, right? Yes. Samsung, who is logging with Samsung? So while getting these questions, I have a couple of instructors here. I have Prof. JT, he's in Arizona. If you want to talk about anyone who is in the interview prep here, they can tell you how dedicated our entire team is. I also have Prof. Emmanuel Galabe, who is the head of the interview prep team. That him, JT, Chi, Brian, they have over 11 people in their department just helping people with interviews. When you are done with your training, they are there to help you. So I'll give Prof. James a minute to say a word to you all. And Prof. James was the pioneer batch of JoinIT. So he was the first batch of JoinIT. You see, he has gone through the training. He has gone through multiple batches, teaching them. And now he knows exactly what it is to help you in an interview prep. He's working as a DBA. Just so a little information, his family is now an entire DBA family. The last person I posted, the last guy that had a job is his brother. The wife is a DBA. James is a DBA. So you can just imagine. So they're a family of DBAs. And their recent baby is a sequel baby. Yes, Prof. JT, go ahead.
Thank you for that great intro. So guys, first thing I would like to say is thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming. I started my career, I've been in the US for 22 years, and most of that I worked in the prison settings until I saw a post on Prof. Brian's WhatsApp. So please share what you see. If you like what you're hearing, if you get inspired, please share. It's gonna change someone's life. So when I started this course, I'd never known anything about a computer. I just know how to type. That was it. And it took me from zero to where I am. And in 6 months, my first job, I was a lone DBA and I was a senior DBA. So with that being said, you can go from 0 to 100 and even be a senior DBA. It's very, very doable with JoinIT. I know a lot of people that have become senior DBAs. Now, with the strategy that JoinIT uses, it's very structured. And when you get to the interview prep side of it, we are dedicated to teach you way beyond SQL. We touch on topics that are not just SQL related. We touch on topics that are including Azure. We introduce you to Azure so that when you go out there to the job market, you are not just going out there like anyone that took a course from any other regular institution. We train you to become the best out there. And even after graduation, we are always set and ready to assist you in the job market. So you'll get to know about me down the road. You know more about me in the interview prep, but that's really all I have to offer. And welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. JT. For someone who has been in the US for 20 years, he's been in the law enforcement sector for over how many years and just recently moved to IT. That can tell you that this has been a game changer. Yes, Uche.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I am so inspired to be a part of this orientation. My question is, I wanted to find out if there is like a board certification after you finish the classes, or then another one is, when is the class going to start properly? Because very soon I have to be out of the country just for about 2 weeks, so I don't want to miss the first class.
Okay, the class start date, as soon as we are done with this orientation, we normally will take we'll say prepare to start classes on the 3rd, but depending on how what goes on, we can always push that a week, right? Let me say right now classes are anticipating the 3rd of April. That is in 2 weeks, but this could move to the 10th of April, but that just depends. So everybody prepare to start classes on the 3rd, as you have seen. All right. You all are in the group. We'll just make the announcement since we all are in the WhatsApp group together. So we'll go from there. We want you all to get time, buy your laptops, get things together, and we'll go from there. The second thing is there a board exam that we take? So IT is not like nursing where you need to take a certification, a state exam to practice. It's not like accounting where you need a CPA. You need to have a CPA license to be able to practice. IT, what gives you the job is that experience that you have. In an IT interview, they're asking you, they look at your resume. They hire you based on your resume. If your resume shows that you are able to create databases, manage them, that is how you get hired. You must not pass an exam to be able to say, I'm an IT professional. That's the beauty of IT and how flexible it is. Yes, of course, certifications are available for IT professionals. There is a certification in database administration, which once you're done with your training and getting into Azure, we prepare you to write that. But you can still, you start applying for jobs prior to even getting any certification, right? So it is not a requirement to get an IT job. What links you with companies is your resume, and we help you with that. And then we walk you progressively towards certification to. Okay, someone is working with Samsung. You can unmute yourself and ask your question or send in the chat. Then let me take Bertrand. Then Trisha had her hand up. I'll give her a couple of seconds to round up. Yes, Bertrand, is your hand still up?
No, oh no, excuse me. I say whole hand.
The old hand? You don't have a new one yet?
No, not yet. Thank you.
Okay, just kidding. All right, Trisha, you had something was boiling in you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say very quickly that you had said that when you're choosing an institution to go to, look for one that has a proven record of success. And that's why JoinIT stands out. You see there are schools out there where for 3-4 years, only about 4 people have had a job. When you see that, it should tell you it speaks volumes. That is why JoinIT stands up. And the other thing I was going to say is that for those who are looking at the tuition, that 3,000 is a lot. Truthfully, even with the competitors, for what the school is offering, it's actually lower than what others. So other schools I looked at was actually at $3,500 to $6,000. All right, and they were not giving this kind of support. That's all I had to say.
Okay, thank you.
Brian,
yes.
To add about that certification, we have students that have graduated and that have got jobs within 3 to 4 months of enrolling and without certification. So again, we teach you hands-on and we prepare you for the real world. That hands-on experience is what's going to give you that job. And we're going to get that from day one.
It's a hands-on experience that we're talking about here. All right, without Prof. Ephraim, is Prof. Ephraim there? I think we had a couple of instructors that just rounded up their classes and they're here. If Prof. Ephraim is not there, Prof. Galabe. Okay, so I think they have signed out back. So at this point, if you don't have any questions, I think the information is out there. This orientation is going to be recorded and shared with you all. And, you know, we shall go from there. If you are not in the orientation group yet, please fill out the application form. To fill out the application form, you can actually just go to our website. If you go to joinitsolutions.com, you can visit us on our website and just click on, that is our website. You can go there, click on courses. Okay, when you click on courses, you see our SQL Server database administration training March session. March is because we have the orientation in March. So this is already like a training to you. This orientation is already a training. You have already started an IT course because today you have understood what is IT. You have understood the various departments within IT, right? So your training has started. You are part of the team now. You are part of JoinIT. Ask questions in the chat. We will send you links to study. So on the website, you can just click on apply, where it will take you now to the application form for you to fill that out, right? So I'm gonna send this in the chat here for those who have not applied. Once you apply this, what happens? We take your information and we put it on our WhatsApp group. Then we share you ideas on what you can do before you preparing for the class. If we don't have any other questions, I'll pass it over to Ms. Barbara to give us a closing and what we should expect from you all. Yes, Ms. Barbara.
Okay. Again, I just want to thank everyone for coming. And I always tell people that one of the biggest ways of getting started is to start immediately. Do not delay, just take the next step. The next step has been announced, which is you going ahead and, who's talking? Please, you guys mute. All right, thank you very much for helping. So The registration link has been shared. Go ahead and register and you'll be added to an official class group. The good thing is that 2 weeks are free. If you have any questions, some people like to talk individually. You're welcome to call any of the team members and talk to them. You can equally talk to me as well. I can be a mommy as well, anyway, just kidding. So just take the next step. Trust us with what we have said. We will not tell you something else and say otherwise. That's the reason why we keep having students every day to train, because our word is our bond. The next thing is get your computers ready. Still thanking you guys very much for coming. We hope that we did meet your expectations. Come and collaborate with us and let us help you get started. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Okay, so officially, the recording has stopped.